Hello and welcome again, San Marcos family. I'm glad you're here. If this is the first time you're coming to see me, I appreciate your time, and I'm going to make your time as efficient as possible to get to the point and really give you information that I believe will help you do what you need to do in a real estate market. This whole program is all about educating you and giving you information. So if you were to buy or sell, you have a better perspective on things of how to do it and what to do exactly. Anyway, just to throw this out there, my name is Orzhel. I'm a broker owner of Realty Max. And like I said, I primarily service San Marcos area, but I'm all over the place. As they said, a good doctor is always needed everywhere. So what am I going to talk about? Before we get going, most people know me because, well, I know how to bring some mojo to your listing to get it sold, to provide leverage, to provide, bring more buyers, and really make it a magnetic listing. And ultimately, we do it really quickly. Now, we don't sell homes just to do it quickly, just for the sake of quickly. We do it because we know homes that sell within the first week end up selling for a lot more than homes that stay in the market for a week or two or three. This is just a fact of the game, and we'll cover that in a second. So, as always, I want to start with the most important part because real estate is driven by interest rates. So, what I want to do is look at the interest rate as we're talking here. So let's look at the rates here. As you can see, we've been kind of bobbing along here, right? A bit of a roller coaster. We kind of came down to 5.44 in February. I'm sorry, about right at 6, right below 6 in February. And then we've gone up. And so, like I said, we're still at 6.5. I know a lot of you may be hoping to see rates in the 2% and 3% range. To be perfectly honest, I don't think we're going to see that. I think it's a once in a lifetime occurrence. And if that were to happen, we would have to have some kind of what I call a black swan event, maybe another pandemic, maybe a war, something that is significant for the Fed to lower the rates low enough to maintain this economy, right? Because the economy usually starts falling through the bottom. So they would be there to support it. But overall, as you can see, the rates are still kind of right around 6.5%. It all depends on credit. It all depends, again, on the time, how much money you're putting down. So it all will vary. But I think we just did one, and it was a loan of about $1 million, which is considered a high balance loan. And I believe the rate on that, we were able to get it down to about 6.25 or something like that. So we're always doing what we can to bring you the best possible rates. So what's going on with the market, right? Again, market is driven by rates. So with that said, the market is pretty much even. Yes, we have more listings, as you read, on the market. San Marcos, depending where you're at, we have anywhere from 25 to 35% more homes in the market than we did last year at the same time. So there's been a significant jump in people selling their home. Most people that I run into, they're selling their home because they want to move out of state. They've had enough of California here and they just want to get out of California. And that's okay. That's one reason to do it. Other people are selling because they're getting older and it's hard for them to climb, the second story, or they want to move closer to their kids, or some other reason. People are just not selling just to sell it. There's usually a reason behind it. And I always tell people you shouldn't sell your home just because the market's right or anything else. You sell when you need to sell, right? So when people ask me when is a good time to sell, I sell when you need to sell. That's the bottom line, right? Because we can't time the market. I don't have a crystal ball. It's all kind of depends on what's going on at the time. So overall, and you've seen this before, I'm going to pop it up again for you. So you probably have seen this slide before, and I'll bring it back right here. As you can see that this is a typical graph that represents market timing as far as you listing the property. As you can see, the best time to get the home sold is within the first few days, but usually no more than a week. Anything after that becomes a downhill race. Uphill battle, I should say, and it becomes more and more difficult to get you the absolute top price. So when I say we're going to sell your home fast over the first weekend, I'm not saying that because we want to have some kind of a fire sale. I'm talking about strategic approach to selling where you can actually maximize your price. And if you got my newsletter, you already see in the bottom that past 5 years, our average is about close to 6.9% over asking price, which is a significant amount, right? And sometimes we've hit 4%, sometimes we've hit as high as 30%. It varies depending on the situation, demand on the property, etc. But overall, our average is about 6.9%, which is, it's a significant amount. We're looking at about $70,000 more on $1 million home, which is our average here in San Marcos. So something you probably want to keep in mind. So what else do I want to cover? Homes are selling. Homes that do not have value, meaning that buyers don't see value in it, stay in a market longer. Ultimately, they end up dropping the price again. I can show you some examples of that later. But overall, things have not changed. Dynamics of the markets are staying the same. If you have a great home and you strategically price the home, and it's really important to be able to strategically price it so you can really take advantage and leverage of the market to get you the highest price, you are going to get the absolute top dollar. At least that's what we do. And I can only speak for myself. Everybody else does what they do. And I believe I mentioned on other videos, I have people that come to me and sometimes they don't hire me because I tell them the price they're asking for is going to cause them to actually either not sell or sell for much less than they're hoping to get. Or on the other side, I walk away from listing, and there's multiple examples of that. I have, I've just looked up a listing in the area of San Marcos Lake. It's been over a year now, and they're with agent 2, and they dropped the price. What's that old saying, right? You can drag the horse to water, but you can't make it drink. This is one of those situations where I have to say no because I don't want to be the one that puts in the work knowing that's not going to happen. Now, there's many schools of thoughts, and one of school of thoughts for some agents is it doesn't matter, take the listings, let the seller figure it out themselves that they're asking for too much money, and then they're going to drop the price. The problem with that is I'm a fiduciary, right? I'm a fiduciary of the seller. And for me to do that would be dishonest and not serving the seller's needs. Because every seller, in the majority of cases, wants to get the absolute highest price, right? And there's really only one way to do it, because listings that are fresh in the market, that are strategically priced and strategically ready for the market, will get multiple offers and will get bid up to the absolute full potential of the listing. So you really have to keep abreast of that and understand what's going on. So with that said, let me jump on your particular market and tell you a little more about what's going on. So let's look at this again. We're looking at Discovery Hills here. Oops, that's the right one. So as I mentioned to you, we do have more listings on the market. Looking at about 14, although I'd say about 11, 12 of them are Discovery Hills, and the rest are slightly out of the area. So as I mentioned, the inventory has popped up from last year. We're probably close to double what we saw last year. So obviously more inventory. Regardless of that, things are still moving. I don't see prices really going up in any substantial or considerable way. They're more or less kind of staying where they're at. Again, it's all going to be impacted by the rates. But overall, as you can see here, we have some stuff in the newer area where we have condos. It seems like I picked some up there, specifically in Tesoro Ranch area. But again, we have Stone Ridge, right? You have Stone Ridge, Blackstone. Let's see what else we have. We have Westbrook Loop. We have one there, and as you can see, it was active 63 days. And as I mentioned to you, time is money. When it comes to real estate, you really want to make an impact right away. And this one's been in the market for 63 days. And as you can see, we went from, let's see, 1 million, asking price 1,750,000 down to 1.6, which my math tells me 150,000 down. And we're probably going to sell below that as well. So again, really, really important to be strategic. This is what I do, as I mentioned to you. I give listings mojo. I give it leverage. I give it everything you want to bring buyers in, to bid up the price and get you as much money as possible, right? Multiple offers is the key. So it looks like we have one on Honeysuckle 948 is under contract, which basically means that it probably took a contingent offer. Contingent offers for me, I don't really care for them too much because sometimes they work out, sometimes they don't. And there's, by doing this, all you're doing is taking the home off the market. And when things do fall through, you already showed that you are in a weak position already. You're a bit desperate now because you're not wasted time. And look, we have information. We're in 2026. We're not in 2000 where information was very hard to get, or even 2010. As soon as your listing goes in the market, it's everywhere, right? So that's why I'm telling you this short time, the first weekend is more important because we don't have any lag time. Things happen pretty much immediately, right? So we have Honeysuckle, that's semi-pending, 1129 Veracruz, 3 days in the market, probably going to 100% sell for over asking. We have Robin Court, was at 1,270,000. That is, let's see, 976. So it really looks like they've done some enlarging in the house, a 5-bedroom, 3-bath home. Let me just take a quick look here. Yep, so it looks like they did some pushing out. That's also pending. Iron Horse 954 is pending, 12 days in the market. But overall, like I said, the market is good. Winridge, kind of a very unique neighborhood within Discovery. 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 2349. Asking price was $1,299,000, and it was on the market for 26 days. We closed at $1,255,000. I have to look and see what other concessions were given, because sometimes you have a lot of concessions. So again, I have to go back and look. Let's see what else we have. Echo Lane closed 6 days, $1,549,000. Closed at $1,470,000. Applewild closed 5/27. Last month on 27th, 1,149,000 asking price. 7 days in the market, closed at 1,160,000. So you get a sense of what's going on, right? This is basically the market. So once again, the market is in good shape. Prices are not going up unless you have something superb in your home. I call it eye candy, and eye candy is really important for buyers. Buyers are very emotional. So that component and the fact that they see other buyers in at the same time, which is also part of N72 program, which you can look up. We get all the buyers in at the same time within an hour and a half of the showing time. We really tighten things up. We want to compress the showings so we can create more excitement, create more competition and urgency to push up your price as high as possible. So that's all I want to say for June. I guess the next one's going to come out in July. I want to again say thank you for coming by and listening to this. And if you can, if it's not for you, feel free to share this with a neighbor that may need this, or maybe a friend that can help. Anyway, all the best to you, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you.